ScriptRunner scripts are something that we can version control. I know we can always version control the JSON export of your automation rule, but it is not the same, right? It is not the same thing because JSON is something that is generated. It is not the code that you wrote. Also, when you write your own script, even though you're doing something simple, you can still write it in a way so that you can give it to someone and that person can look at the code and understand. So it is definitely readable. And when you talk about code, usually when we write scripts, we write it on lower environment, dev, and then we move it to production or staging. So you can do that with Jira Cloud Automation, but of course, it is not like copying pasting a script, right? It is something like a JSON that you need to import. And of course, when you are importing a JSON, it can, in a way, behave or work like what I'm talking about by doing a script. But when you have a script, you can copy paste, you can modify, you can share it easily. It is much more convenient. Also, the main reason is that your own script can be scalable. So although what you're doing right now today is something very simple, but that simple automation, that very simple use case can become a big use case, or it can get complicated because you never know. When people start using Jira, when they're used to automations, when they know that, yes, these things are possible, then of course, there is no limit, right? So your script should be scalable. And of course, there are other reasons. Sometimes when we write scripts using ScriptRunner for Jira, we sometimes write it as a listener, but then we might want to move it to post function, or we write it as a post function and then we move it to a listener, right? So because it's code, right? You can run the code from anywhere you want based on the requirement. Sometimes we run the same code manually using console. Let us say we have done some automation. It's a listener, but that listener requires you to be run initially. Like the initial run should be done. So of course you can do it using your console. Yeah, you can do it using automation rules as well, but it is not the same thing, right? You can't really take a look at the log files. You can't really print the output the way you want. When you're writing your own scripts, you have the option to use your own logger, which you can then use to dump your Atlassian log file, right? So if you're a developer, if you have that development background, you will understand what I'm talking about, because it is not about writing a script to solve a problem today, or it is not about